This is Rio Grande City, Texas. It takes its name from the river that flows by it.
In our way of thinking, if you were born next to it and you swam in it and you enjoyed it, it runs through you. And it runs through you every single day.
For 7 years, Ruben Villarreal was mayor of Rio Grande City, the largest city in Starr County. The river he grew up along has for generations been symbolic of hope. Crossing it from Mexico meant a chance for a better life in the United States. Now, decades of migration north across the river is leading to an historic population shift. Texas is on the verge of becoming the first state in the U.S. with a majority Hispanic population.
Would that change anything? Would that change the politics here? Would it make a difference, do you think?
Well, you're asking somebody that lives in a predominantly Hispanic community, so for me, it's not going to change anything.
Yvette Gaitan lives in Starr County. Population close to 65,000. When Yvette says predominantly Hispanic, she's not kidding. 98% of the people here are Hispanic.
Buenos dias, good morning.
That's the largest percentage of any county in the nation. Along the main roads, most of the billboards and signs are in Spanish. Starr County and the neighboring communities of Mission, McAllen, and Brownsville, with huge Latino populations, are a major reason why Texas will soon be majority Hispanic.
The new challenge is going to be is for Hispanics to understand that now they have this sword and shield that they can use for good, and they can use it to effectuate positive change.
And within Texas' Hispanic population, there is need for positive change. This food bank in Pharr, Texas, serves people in 3 border counties, and each year the number needing help is rising.
Every year in January we have a farm dinner.
Ruby Martinez is communications manager.
The need has increased, like just talking about within the last year, it's increased by 32%. We went from 43,000 on average feeding individuals to 64 on average per week.
They serve the general public, schools.
So this all goes to the schools?
Yes, sir.
For the kids that, a lot of the kids that would go hungry if they did not have this,
yes,
right?
Exactly, sir. I know that kids, we deliver to eat this stuff because I used to be a driver and I would deliver this to the students and they would always tell me, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the food. They would always thank me every day saying that they go home with a full belly.
There's even a program targeting proper nutrition for diabetics.
Lentils, they get split peas.
Which are good. Lentils are really good for you, right?
Absolutely.
Sandra Villegas teaches classes in nutrition and runs the program.
I am actually, and this might sound crazy, but in very high demand to partner with healthcare physicians. And so I have about 36 doctors that want to partner with us to start a pilot program for 10,000 diabetic clients.
10,000?
10,000.
And nearly everyone Villegas and the food bank serves is Hispanic.
I would say 90% is Hispanic. Yes, maybe 95%. Most of my classes are bilingual, and I would say maybe 5% are in English. Other than that, everything I have to do in Spanish.
The food bank has its own garden. School kids tend the plants and learn how to grow fresh vegetables. A lesson in improving nutrition. The farm also raises turkeys and a whole lot of chickens.
Now that part of the program, when we decided to use it, because we were given donated chickens. So the farm manager said, yeah, I can take them on. And so now we have eggs. We have fresh eggs every day. So, and we give them to our clients.
Poverty is an ongoing struggle for Hispanics, particularly in the Rio Grande Valley. Statewide, 14% of the population lives below the poverty line, $24,000 a year. But in South Texas, the numbers are more than double that. Starr County is at 35%. Former Rio Grande City Mayor Villarreal bristles at the notion that people in Starr County are poor.
Who defines poverty? From New York City, as a matter of fact, I had a reporter coming in and he was doing a story or working on a story, and his question was, how come y'all don't act poor? Well, we didn't get the memo. If we were given God's grace of strength, and if we were given an initiative and we were given a talent and a skill, we were going to use it.
There are things that you can do and probably can still do more to give people the tools they need to raise themselves up.
Education.
As Texas becomes more and more Hispanic, officials say the biggest single issue they must deal with is raising the level of education. For example, 40% of Hispanics 25 years of age and older did not graduate high school. Although the numbers are increasing, only 25% of Latinos between the ages of 25 and 34 have college degrees or technical certificates. Gina Caramilin is an attorney and former teacher.
It is a huge difference in the ratio of Hispanics in college versus the percentage of Hispanics in our Texas public schools. It's the majority in our schools, and we're by far the minority in our colleges.
And in the border counties like Starr, where Yvette Gaitan's kids go to school, they are nearly all Hispanic.
If you look at the school reports that they send, my daughter's school is 100% Hispanic. My son in the high school is 98%.
Do you see the ability in the not too distant future where the enrollment in colleges will be representative of the population? How long off do you think that'll be to make that happen?
I think we're a long ways off from that. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't constantly strive to make our college enrollment reflective of our state population. If I had to guess, I would say maybe 20 to 30 years out.
So, higher paying jobs go to other people.
They're just not getting the higher education that's going to lead to better jobs.
Well, and I think then that kind of brings you back around to poverty. When you look at the percentage of Hispanics that live in poverty, then that kind of brings you back down to the question of why there are not more Hispanics in college.
Poverty and education are linked. If you live in poverty, the road to educational success is far more treacherous. You would think the growing number of Hispanics could, during elections, force candidates to listen to their needs. But if you don't vote, nobody listens.
In order for the Hispanic population to really have a voice in Texas, we have to vote. And typically, our population doesn't do a lot of voting.
When Hispanics come out to vote, and I want to tell you what, it might not happen in 2020, but by 2024, you're going to see an enormous change in the Hispanic attitudes, and they're going to show up to vote in groves.
Miami pollster Fernanda Mondi agrees.
Whether it's on a local level, state level, or federal level, are we going to see Hispanic Americans driving policies more as we go forward?
I think indeed we are, and particularly when politicians make them aware of that power that they have. Once you get a little bit of a taste for power, it's hard to stop saying, all right, well, now I can see what we can do. Let's try and influence on the issues that we feel strongly about.
That change and influence is already taking root in other states. New data suggests a stunning increase in Florida's Hispanic electorate, an increase of 81% between 2014 and 2018.
Are those numbers, do you think, in 2020 going to translate into even larger numbers at the polls of Hispanics in general and young Hispanics in particular?
You see an uptick in energy and enthusiasm and interest in a way that you haven't quite seen in years past. I think all that is going to translate and end with record Hispanic turnout across the country, not just here in Florida.
Amandi says in Florida, candidates for office know they cannot ignore the Latino vote.
I don't think they have an option. I think if they don't, they run the risk of writing off Florida. And if you're a candidate for president and you write off Florida, you're writing off the White House.
In Texas, the power of the vote is a lesson still being learned, but not yet emphasized enough, says Gina Karam-Milleen.
In the public schools, we already are the majority. In the state, we're almost the majority. And so why aren't we already starting young, trying to get our kids engaged in the process to know that their voice is going to matter, because they are going to be the majority in our state in the very near future.
Go back to your homes and read Exodus 3:14.
Late on a Saturday afternoon, the Basilica of Our Lady of San Juan del Valle is filled for Mass. Nearly all Hispanic, the people sing along with a mariachi band. Nearly everyone here, young and old, believes in the power of prayer. And by all indications, in the very near future, they might also have the power of numbers. The question for Hispanic Texans, will they use it?